Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to a new video. In this video, we're going to be talking about setting up a dropshipping store through WooCommerce. Now, I know a lot of you guys are here from search, but for my regular viewers, I usually talk about dropshipping through Shopify. So if you're wondering why I'm making a WooCommerce tutorial and what are the benefits to using WooCommerce, there are many different reasons why someone might want to use WooCommerce for dropshipping instead of Shopify. Both have their pros and cons. So someone's going to use Shopify, someone's going to use WooCommerce. So I just wanted to make a tutorial for both. Now, what are some pros of WooCommerce? First of all, it's a lot more stable. You're not running on someone else's platform. With WooCommerce, you're running your own website, so Shopify can't take your store down. Or for example, your store cannot get reported by people for DMCA claims and Shopify takes it down. It is also a lot cheaper than Shopify. And with WooCommerce, they don't take 2% of your revenue, unlike Shopify. So for example, on Shopify, if you do $100,000 in revenue, Shopify is literally going to take $2,000 from you. With WooCommerce, that's not the case. Those are some of the main benefits. It's also a lot more customizable and everything like that. At the end of the day, it's down to personal preference. So if you do want to build a WooCommerce store, let's go straight into it and let me show you how it's done. All right, so the first thing about building a WooCommerce store is you're going to need hosting. Now, because you're not running your website through a third party like Shopify, we're going to have to get our own hosting. So the website that I'm going to be using and the website that I recommend you guys use is called Hostinger. Hostinger has some of the cheapest and most reliable and also fastest hosting out there. Their plans come at like $1 to $4 a month, so it's extremely affordable. They have 99.9% uptime. For those of you that don't know, uptime is when you have a hosting website, sometimes the hosting goes down and your website is not accessible. With Hostinger, you have 99.9% uptime guarantee. You're not going to have the issue of your site not being accessible for some time. And there's many other benefits to using Hostinger. I'm not going to go over it because you guys can go to their website and check it out for yourself. I just want to go over the most important things. They have 3 different plans. So the first one is single shared hosting. The second one is premium shared hosting. And the third one is business shared hosting. I recommend you guys go for the premium shared hosting just because it's not that much more expensive than the single shared hosting, but it's so much more versatile. You can literally host up to 100 different websites with one plan. You have 2 times more storage. You can handle 2.5 times more visits. You can create up to 100 different email addresses. You get unlimited bandwidth, unlimited databases. You also get a free domain. So that alone is going to save you like $10, $20 at least, depending on where you're buying your domains. So we're just going to go for this. I'm going to click select. And this is the checkout page. They have a 30-day money back guarantee. So if you're not happy, you can get your money back. But you can choose a couple different plans. So you have the 1 month, which is $11.99 plus $5 for a setup fee. You can go for 12 months, 24 months, and 48 months. Whichever you want to go for is up to you. The 12 month and up is the best value for money for sure. So just pick whatever works for you and let's go down. Now here you're gonna have to create an account, so I'm just gonna do that real quick. And as you guys can see here, the total is only $35.88 for a 1-year plan. You guys can use code Marco7, all capital letters, to save up to 91% on all yearly plans. So if you're gonna be going for a yearly plan, make sure you use the code. It can save you a lot of money. And I'm just gonna quickly check out and I'll see you guys once I'm done.
A few moments later.
I had to take a short break because something came up, but we're continuing with the video. So here we are. Here's the page where we end up on after you process the payment. So we're just gonna click on start now. And that is going to take us here. So it's going to ask us what we're creating the website for. Usually you guys can say myself. If you're working for a client, you know, you're building it for someone else, choose that. If you're an employee, choose this one. Or if you're just helping a friend or something, choose this. But in this case, we're going to go for myself and we're going to continue. Now here, it's going to ask us what type of website it's going to be. So in this case, we're going to be going for an online store. If you guys want to do something else, go for it. But this is what we're going to be doing for the sake of this video. And here's where it's going to ask us what kind of experience we have. If you're a professional website creator, go for this. For most of you, you're going to either be creating your first website or a beginner. I'm going to go for beginner, but I have some experience. And then this question is whether or not that you're building the website from scratch or you've already had it built on a different hosting service and you want to just migrate it to Hostinger. In this case, we're just building it from scratch, so we're going to go here. But if you already have a site that's live and you want to change your hosting provider, you would go here. But let's go here for now. And then here we're going to have to select a platform to build a website on. So we're going to be going for WordPress. And we're just going to click select. And here you can choose if you want to add WooCommerce or not. Generally, it doesn't really matter. I prefer not adding it at this point, just because I like starting fresh when I'm in WooCommerce or when I'm in WordPress. Because if you choose this, it's going to install a lot of different plugins and stuff. There's nothing wrong with that, but I just personally prefer starting from scratch. So I'm just going to leave it off. And make sure you remember the email you put in here and the password you put in, because those are going to be the login details you're going to use for WordPress. Once that's all done, we're just going to click continue. And then here it's going to ask us what kind of look we prefer for the site. If you choose one of these templates, it's going to automatically install it on your site. But again, I prefer starting from scratch, so I'm just going to click skip. I don't need a template. And then here it's going to ask us if we want to buy a new domain or use an existing one. So we're just going to buy a new one. Let's click select. And you can choose whatever you want the name of your store to be, but I'm just going to go for my pet bed store and let's click on search. By the way, if you go for the premium shared hosting plan, you actually get a domain for free. I just had to redo the video because my initial recording got corrupted, so that's why I bought the domain here, but you actually get it for free with the plan. So that's another benefit of using Hostinger I just wanted to mention real quick. We're going to be creating a pet niche store. So this is already taken, but we can go for mypetbedstore.online, which is like $1 a year. Usually you guys want to go for .com. I'd recommend that in most cases, but because this is a tutorial, it doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna go for a .online. I'm just gonna quickly buy it, and I'll be back with you guys once I'm done. And once that's done, we're gonna click on next step. And here we're gonna have to put in some of our information. So for the country, I'll just do United States, company, and click next. And then here I'm just gonna have to enter my company details. So I'll be back with you guys once I'm done.
A few moments later.
And now that we finished with that, our domain has been registered. So we're just gonna click finish setup. Now, while this is all loading, I'm just gonna quickly go to email. I'm gonna verify our contact information. This is something you have to do, so don't forget about that. And now that this is all done, we're ready to start working on the site. So we're gonna go ahead and click manage WordPress, and that is gonna take us to the back end of the store. So here it's gonna say our domain is not pointing to Hostinger. This is something you're just gonna have to wait out. Make sure you check your email and do all the verifications that it asks you to. Usually it's just clicking a link and confirming that the email belongs to you. And now we're just gonna have to wait for this all to load. So once that's done, I'll be back with you guys and we'll go from there.
Later.
All right, so it's been a couple of minutes and this is updated. We're now ready to start editing the website. So we're just gonna click here, and that is gonna take us over to WordPress. So we're just gonna wait for it to load, and here we are. So this is the back end. This is where we can edit everything, install add-ons, themes, everything like that. The first thing we're gonna wanna do is we're gonna want to go to appearance, themes, and these are the basic themes that are already pre-installed on the site. So we're just gonna click on add new, and we're gonna search for Rife free. Here it is. So now we're just gonna click on install. All right, so now that we've installed the theme, we're gonna click on activate, and now this theme is the main theme of our website. It's live. Here's how our website looks at the moment. It's pretty empty. We just have our domain, and it's a preview domain. We have one photo, and that's pretty much it. There's basically nothing on the site. We could edit it all from scratch ourselves, but what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go to appearance, themes, and I'm gonna go to design importer. It's gonna ask us to install Polo 13, so I'm just gonna click that. And once that's installed, I'm just gonna click activate. We're gonna be able to choose a template that we wanna go for. So in this case, we have a lot of paid ones, and we also have a couple of free ones. I'm just gonna go for the one called WOOR. I'm just gonna click choose and move to next step. Here it's gonna ask us what we wanna import. We're gonna install all the plugins that go with it. Do we wanna import the shop? Yeah. Import demo content, import site settings, and import theme settings. And we're just gonna click next step. So we're gonna click start importing the design, and we're just gonna wait for it to finish. And now it's finally done. It took a couple of minutes, so we're just gonna click view your website, and that's gonna take us over to our homepage where we can check out how it looks. This is what we have so far, and here's how it looks like. So for some reason this image is black. It shouldn't be black. It should be an image of like some clothes, but either way, the rest of the website looks good. This is the template that we're gonna be using. We're just gonna be switching out a couple of things. Now, I'm not gonna be focusing on the design of the website that much in this video because first of all, I don't think it's that important. The main goal of a website is just for it to be functional, so you can start selling some products. If you're running paid ads, you're mainly gonna be sending them over to the product page, so your homepage is not really gonna be that important. Now, if you are building a website for a client, in that case, the homepage is very important. You definitely wanna put in a lot of effort into it, but it's really not that hard. It's very easy to edit your website. You just click on edit with Elementor, and it's literally point and click. You can change whatever you want to. You can change the fonts, images, everything like that. The best way to learn is just to do it yourself. I'm gonna go into it a little bit later on in the video, but if you want to really get good at it, you're gonna have to practice for a couple of hours. It's really not that hard. If you put in a couple of days into it, you're gonna get really good at it. Just not to waste too much time on that. We're not gonna be fully focusing on that in this video. We're just gonna set up a basic homepage and make sure all the backend is set up properly. So now it looks like our website is ready. So our domain has synced completely. So we want to go here and install the SSL certificate in Hostinger. It's very easy. Just click install SSL, and that is it. It's going to install it. What SSL is, it's this lock icon right here. Basically makes sure your connection is secure, and it's a really good thing you want to have on your website, and it's extremely easy to install. Now that we're done with that, we're going to go back to our WordPress dashboard, and let's go into the plugins. Now these are all the plugins that have been installed with our theme. That's all nice to have. We're also going to go into pages and just see what kind of pages we have at the moment. When we installed the theme, it installed a lot of its pages. So we have an about us. We have a refunds and returns policy. Already generated quite a bit of it, so you don't really have to do much. You can read through it and just, import your physical address here, whatever it is, and just make sure you proofread it and make sure it actually matches your refund and return policy. We also have a contact us page, a privacy policy, which looks like this. So you want to make sure and you want to go through this and update all the data. Now we already had some basic pages, and then we got some duplicates because when we installed the theme, it installed all the pages that were on the theme as well. So we're just going to delete all the duplicates. My account, sample page, and that's pretty much it. So we're going to go to bulk actions, move to trash, click apply, and we're done. Feel free to go through all these pages and adjust whatever you want to do. Whether it's the about us page, you want to add in something about you. If you want to add in some contact details in our contact us page, maybe add in your address or something like that, go for it. But those are all things you guys can do on your own. I don't want to waste too much time going into each and every one of these. Now that that's done, we want to go into WooCommerce, and we want to go through the setup wizard. On the first page, it's going to ask us for our address. So I'm just going to quickly import my details, and I'm going to see you once I'm done. All right, so after we fill out all our information, it's going to ask us what kind of industry we're going to be in. So let's just say home, furniture, and garden, and let's click continue. But now it's going to ask us what kind of products we're going to be selling. So we're just going to be going for physical products. If you want to do downloads and subscriptions, you can do those too. And if you want to do memberships, bookings, bundles, stuff like that, it's going to cost you extra money every single month. So keep that in mind if you want to use any of those. And let's click continue. How many products do we want to display? Let's say 1 to 10. And then are we currently selling elsewhere? Let's say no. If you're setting up a store for a client, you want to click this, but because we're not, we're going to unclick it. We're going to continue, and we are not going to add these to our site, and we're just going to click continue once again. Now it's going to ask us to choose a theme. We're going to scroll all the way down and just click skip this step, and bam, there we go. All right, guys, so now we're going to go edit the website. So I'm just going to click on visit site, and it's going to take us to the site as it is right now. So this is how it looks like, and we're just going to click on edit with Elementor. Now in this case, it loaded up perfectly. Sometimes it doesn't want to load, so in that case, you just want to go into your plugins, uninstall Elementor, and then reinstall it, and then it should work. First thing we can do is we can click here. We can click on edit section right here. For some reason, it's below this, so it's hard to see, but we can click there. We can go to style, and then we can change the image here. So I'm just going to quickly find a stock photo, and I'm going to change it up. So for that, we're going to go into pixels, and because we're doing a pet store, let's just type in pets, and let's see what kind of photo would fit the site. All right, so I found a photo that kind of fits us. I wasn't able to find anything better. I was looking for something that would have the dog be inside the house, but this will do the job as well for now. So we're going to click on choose image right here. Before we actually upload the photo to our site, we're going to go to compress JPEG. So it's compressjpeg.com, and I'm just going to take the photo from our downloads and put it in here, and it's going to automatically compress it, so it saves a bunch of space and our site loads quicker, which is very important. Your site speed is one of the most important things when it comes to conversions. So it managed to cut 55% of the memory and it keep the same quality of the photos. So we're just going to download that. We're going to click on select files, and we're just going to drag and drop it right here, and we're just going to click insert media, and here's how it's looking so far. So now that we've updated the background, we're going to change the text a little bit. First of all, we're going to disable the loop writing effect. It's no longer going to be writing like this. It's just going to be static thing. Here under style, we can change the text color. We can change the font, anything like that. But I like this font, so I'm not really going to be changing it. I also like the color. Under advanced, you guys can do motion effects. If you want it to fade in left, whatever, you know, we could do something like that. So I'm just going to leave a fade in. And here we can also play around with a bunch of other things, like we can rotate it left or right, whatever you want to do. I'm just going to keep it at default because I don't want to do that. But those are all options you guys can use. You can also change the background, put in a color for hovering. If someone hovers over it, they would see a different color, do a border, etc. There's a lot of different options we can do, but for now we're just going to keep it as it is, and we're going to change the text. So instead of it saying welcome in our store, we're just going to do welcome to our store, for example. And we're also going to delete this text so it doesn't keep rewriting it. And once that's all done, we're just going to click update. That's done so far. So for the text right here, we're also going to change this, and let's just say the best quality products for the best quality pets, for example. You can do whatever you want. It's not really that important, but we're just going to do that. Now for the add to cart button, this is something we can edit quite a lot. We're going to go into style, and I'm going to change the color from this to more of a blue color, something like this. I like that. Also upon hovering, as you guys can see, it changes to red. We're just going to do a slightly darker blue, something like this. There we go. And we're going to click update, and the top part of our site is pretty much done. Now here we can highlight some features. I like all of these. So we already have a free worldwide shipping, 30-day money back guarantee, and a secure checkout. We can always update the text right here, but I'm just not going to waste time doing that. It's very easy to think of like 1 or 2 sentences just explaining what it means. We also have some testimonials right here. So what our clients say. We also have a photo here, which we're also going to update. So to do that, we're going to click on this icon right here, go to style, and we're just going to go to pixels once again, and try to find another photo that fits our site. Something like this. Let's just download it. Let's compress it once again. Let's download it once again, and let's go back in here, choose image, upload it. And now that it's done uploading, we're just going to click on insert media. Here it is. So we're also going to update this button so it matches the style of this one. To do that, we're going to right click here, we're going to click copy, and then we're going to scroll all the way down, right click here and click paste style, and it's going to basically become the same button. And now that that's done, here's what our site looks like. So it looks a lot better. We're also missing products and stuff like that. For the overall outline of the homepage, we're basically done. Now I could go through and just update all of these texts right here and make it all look branded towards the dog niche, but it's really not that important for the sake of this tutorial. It's very easy. As you guys can see, you just go in here and then you can type in whatever you want to do. So just to save time, instead of doing all that, I'm just going to go into here and click on site settings, and we're going to update the site identity. We're going to choose a logo. I'm just going to upload a logo real quick. I'm going to click on insert media. It should be good to go. So I'm going to click update. Now it's not updating here still. Don't worry about that. We'll fix that later on. And we're just going to X out of here and go back to our WordPress dashboard. So I'm just going to click apply. apply and leave. All right, so now that we're here, I'm gonna click on visit site, and instead of editing with Elementor, this time I'm gonna click on customize, and that's gonna pull up the basic editing WordPress menu where we can change the header, the footer, and play around with everything on here. We're gonna go into header settings, and we're gonna click on logo. For type, we're gonna choose image, and that's gonna update the logo, so now we can see the photo that I actually uploaded as the logo. It is a bit big, so I'm just gonna choose it once again, choose image, and I'm just gonna crop it a little bit just so it doesn't take up too much space on top, and I'm gonna click on update, and there we go. Now it's looking a lot better and a lot cleaner, so I'm just gonna click publish. So far, this is how our site is looking. It's pretty simple so far. We haven't done too many changes. This is the shop page, which takes you to a collection of all the products. We have an about us, which we can also edit in the Elementor editor. If we were to click here, I would just be able to edit whatever I want to do here. So I could do about us and then make up a story about, you know, whatever you want to tell right here. Or if you actually have a good story, I can put it in there. And then you can also update all the numbers here, like how many products you've sold, total team members, photos of the team, etc. And you can make it look really nice. That's all pretty self-explanatory, so I'm not going to waste the time on it. We also have the contact us page. So if you want to edit this, it's the same thing. You just click on here and you can start editing, you know, do whatever you want to do. Maybe edit the information here. So put in your address, etc. So again, I'm not going to do that just because I don't want to waste the time, but that's how you do it. So to edit the footer, we're going to want to go into general settings and then click on footer. And here we can choose how many of these menus we want to have. So as you guys can see, we have 4 at the moment. 1, 2, 3, 4. If we do 1, it's just going to keep it all in one, whatever this is called, one row. If we do 4, it's going to keep it like this. This text right here, you can customize. That's the text at the bottom of the page. So if you want to do, let's say, copyright 2022, my pet bed, you can do that. Yeah, that's how it looks like. Let's quickly publish just to make sure we save the changes. Social icons, I would disable because I really don't need them. But, you know, if you want to plug your social link, you can enable that. There's also a lot of customizable options here if you want to change the colors or if you want to play around with how this is all structured, but I'm really not going to change much here. So that's where you can edit the layout. If you want to actually edit the menus that are on here, you just want to click on this icon right here, and then you can choose whatever you want to do here. So you can actually select the menu and you can change it, for example, to the main menu, and that's going to give us this menu right here. You can do the footer menu and play around with all of these. Let's say why us. Let's say we want to remove this. You would just click remove and it's going to disappear from here. Categories as well. If you're running, for example, a one product store and don't want to have categories, you can just remove that as well. Recent posts, that's if you're running a blog. If you're not, you can also remove that part. And then here you can have recent products if you want to. If not, you can also remove it. But let's keep them for now and let's click publish. If you want to customize the menu that's on here, you would do that in the WordPress settings. You would just make another menu, add in all the pages you want, and then they would be here. We can also add another menu. We can, for example, add our contact information right here, but then we would actually have to type it out. Let's say we have a random phone number. Let's say we type in contact us. You can put in your email, etc. So you can do whatever you want. You can customize your footer. It's pretty easy to do. Just play around with all the settings right here and you'll be able to figure it out really quickly. It's really not that difficult to do. Now, we do have a website that kind of looks presentable. Of course, you can do a lot more to it and make it look a lot better. If you guys want a full in-depth tutorial of me like creating a very good looking store, comment down below. But I'm just keeping this simple because I don't want to waste anyone's time. So now that we have the store that looks presentable, we want to import the products into it. How do you do that? To do that, we're going to go into Azusi. Azusi is a website that's pretty much like Oberlo used to be for the Shopify. So we would just click create an account and we can definitely go for the free plan. You can compare the plans and see what fits you the best, but we're just going to go for the free plan for now. And this is where it's going to ask us to register. So I'm just going to quickly fill in all this information and I'll be back with you once I'm done. All right, so now that that's done, we're going to go and click on use Azusi now. Your Azusi account is not connected to your store. Please click here to see how to do it. So we're just going to click here. So we're going to go into our WordPress dashboard and we're going to go into settings and then general. And we're just going to copy the link that you can see here, the WordPress address URL. And we're going to go back to Azusi, paste it here. And now we're just going to click on connect store. We're not going to enter the consumer key or consumer secret. It's going to ask us to approve. So I'm just going to click approve. And now it automatically entered the consumer key and consumer secret. So I'm just going to click on save changes. And now our store is connected to Azusi. So now to import products, I'm going to open up a new tab and go to the Chrome Web Store. And we're just going to search for Azusi. And here it is. So you're going to want to install this. And once it's successfully installed, it's going to come up here. I'm just going to pin it and we're going to go over to AliExpress and let's search for some pet products. So let's, for example, just type in dog and let's see what kind of products we can find. And here we are. So this portable dog water bottle is a really good product. We're just going to click here and it's going to import it to Azusi automatically. And there we go. Now it's imported. Let's also import this one, this product as well. This is another pretty good pet product. So we're going to import that too. Let's also import this one as the last product. And once these are all done, we'll be good to go. So now when we go over to Azusi, we can see that all the products have been imported. We can click on edit imported product. And here we can edit the titles. So the basic titles from AliExpress are always going to be very bad and super long because they optimize for keywords. We're just going to do portable single pet water bottle. Now here in the description, of course, you can change everything in here, and you want to change everything. You want to find a competitor, copy their description, and then change it up slightly. For the sake of the video, I'm not really going to do that just because that would take some extra time. We want to keep it simple, but basically just find someone that's selling the same product, copy their description, and just reword it a little bit. But we're just going to keep it empty, and we're going to click on save. Also, we want to sync the stock, so let's click save. And here on the bottom, you can choose which versions of the product you want to have. You can just delete some if you don't want to have them. So let's say we only wanted to sell the 550 milliliter ones from the United States. We would just choose every single one that doesn't fit that criteria, and we would just delete them. Let's click on delete right here, and then these remaining ones, we'll also want to delete them. And in the end, we only have 3 different variations, which is pretty good. You don't want to have too many. 3 is like a perfect number, because having more than 3 options makes the customer a bit indecisive, and usually they'll just not purchase when they're indecisive. So you want to keep it simple, keep the options to a minimum. So we're going to keep it to 3 options and click save. And once that's done, I'm just going to select the product and import it to the store. And here we are. So all the products got imported. We have a total of 6 new products in the store, and I'm just going to show you how to edit one of them. So you can just apply the same principles to every product you do, but we're just going to click on edit right here, and it's going to take us to the product page. So this is where you can put in a description if you want to. So anything you want to write out about the product, you can put in here. This thing right here where it says variable product, you can change it to simple product, grouped product, external or affiliate product, stuff like that. But a variable product is a product that has more than one variable. So whether it has multiple colors or multiple ships from places or multiple sizes, that's what a variable product is. If you have a product that only has one option, you just want to go for a simple product. But in this case, we're going to go for a variable product. SKU is something you can put in. It can be random, doesn't really matter what you do. Now, if you want to manage quantity, you can check this, and then you can put in a number. Let's say you have like 250, you would put that there. For shipping, if you want to adjust the weight and stuff, you can do that here. If you want to put in certain upsells and cross sells, you can link them here as well. These are the product attributes, so the color and the size. So if you want to edit those, you can just come in here and then uncheck. Let's say you want to uncheck a couple of these colors and you just want to leave the red one, we would do that. And then for the sizes, we're going to keep it the same. We're going to sell all 3, and we're just going to click save attributes. And we're going to click update. This is where you can change the product images. So if you want to upload a unique photo, you can do that there. Product gallery, that's where you put in the secondary photos. You can add new ones. You can play around with the ones that are already here. You can delete them, etc. And then the product short description, that's a part of the description that's above the add to cart button. So that's usually best used for a review or something like that. We'll go into that later on. For now, let's click update, and then let's check out how it's looking on the store. So if we click preview changes, this is what the product looks like. This is what the product page looks like. We can definitely edit quite a bit here. So people can choose colors. Let's say they want to choose a red and M. If you want to update the prices, you would go to variations and just open each one of them up and just change the price. So sale price, let's do $19.99, and then regular price we would do $39.99, and that is for the any color medium 6 centimeters. So we're going to save, we're going to update it, and now when we go here, we can see that if we go for the M variation, it's going to be $19.99. So you would just do that for each of the variations, or if you have a simple product, it would just be one of them. And that's pretty much it. The product page is very simple. You don't need to edit anything here. If you want to edit it, you would go to customize, WooCommerce, and then you can edit it under there. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the product page. I don't want to go too in depth because you can really edit anything you want, but I think it looks pretty good on the default setting as well. And so far, this is how the store is looking. So right now, all we're missing is some of the backend options. We need to connect the payments as well. So let's go do that now. So to set up a payment processor, we're going to go into plugins. Then we're going to click add new, and we're going to search for Stripe. This is if you're using Stripe. If you don't have Stripe, then we're going to set up PayPal as well, but it's always best to have both. So I'm just going to click install now, and I'm going to click on activate. And then here we're going to look for Stripe. Here it is, WooCommerce Stripe Gateway. We're going to click on settings, and then here we're going to click on create or connect an account. Now I'm not going to actually log into my Stripe because I'm not going to be using the store, but it's very simple. You would just log in and approve the store, and that's it. It's literally a couple of clicks. If you don't have a Stripe account, you're going to have to register one and then approve it, and that's pretty much it. You're ready to accept payments on your store. And to enable PayPal, we're also going to go into plugins. We're going to click on add new. We're going to search for PayPal, and here it is. It doesn't have the best reviews, but that's the app that we need. So click on install now, and once it's installed, we're going to click on activate. And again, same thing. We're going to go to WooCommerce PayPal payments, click settings, and here you can play around with the settings. You can accept credit cards through PayPal, and that's done by clicking this right here. You can also set up standard card processing through PayPal, and then we just click activate PayPal. It's going to take me to PayPal where you just log in, approve, and that's it. Extremely simple. It's 2 clicks and you can accept payments on your store. So I'm just not going to go through the process. That's just something you will do. You can do that on your own. Now, while we're in WooCommerce, we're also going to go into shipping, and we're going to play around with the zones. So we already have a US zone, which I'm just going to delete. Click OK. And now I'm just going to click on add shipping zone. And here I'm going to do zone name. I'm just going to do worldwide shipping. We're going to add a shipping method, and it's going to be free shipping. If you want to charge for shipping, you would do flat rate, and then you would just type in however much you want to do. But we're going to be going for free shipping. So I'm just going to click add shipping method. Select regions within the zone, you just leave that empty because we're going for worldwide. And then I'm just gonna click save changes, and now we have a free shipping method that everyone can use. Also in WooCommerce, under general settings, you can choose the currency you want. You can play around with its position, you can play around with thousand separator, decimal separator, and the number of decimals. I'm just gonna leave everything as it is because I like these settings, but if you were to sell to a different country other than the US, then you would change this to GBP or whatever currency you want to go for. And when you go to accounts and privacy, this is where you can choose the checkout settings. Always allow customers to place an order without an account. And the other settings right here are not that important. You can go through them if you want to, but I don't pay too much attention to them. And once we're done with all that, here's what we have in the end. Again, the store doesn't look like anything special. I didn't fill it out completely just because I didn't want to make this tutorial like 5 hours long, because you guys get the point, you know. If you know how to edit these, it's really not that hard. It's just going to take you some time to play around with it. If you guys want a more in-depth tutorial, comment down below. Let me know you want to see that, and I might record one in the future. Hopefully this video has helped you. If you guys are going to use Hostinger to host your site, don't forget to use code Marco7 to save up to 91% on all yearly plans. And that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.